Hey everyone, welcome to Reading Rush Day 1. So, I decided that I'm going to do the Reading Rush this week. It's a week. This is a vlog that I've never done before. So, yay! Hey guys! I don't know how the sound is out here. So today is the first day of the Reading Rush challenge for 2020. I have my computer here with the challenges. So I thought I would vlog during it. I've never done a vlog before. So first I just want to talk about what books I'm going to be reading this week, or try to read this week, and then the 7 challenges that are up here. The first challenge is read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. So my birthstone is emerald, and the book I chose for this is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I'm already in the middle of it. If I finish all 4 of my books this week, then I will also do The Shattered Vigil by Patrick C. Carr. So the next challenge is read a book that starts with the word the. 3 of the 4 books that I've chosen this week actually start with the word the. Read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. For that, I chose The Big Sleep by Ray Chandler. I've seen the movie with Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart. It's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie so much. So I thought, I haven't read the book yet and I want to. So read the first book you touch. For that one, I did The Queen's Poisoner because it was the first book that I touched when I watched a Reading Rush video of TBR. I didn't do a TBR video because it was a little bit late, but yeah, so The Queen's Poisoner was the first book that I touched. For number 5, read a book completely outside of your house. I'm going to try to read The Queen's Poisoner completely outside of my house, but I live in a very hot area, so we'll see. We will see about that one. The next one is read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of, and for that one, A Desperate Fortune by Susanna Kearsley and The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. Both of those books, one is mystery and one is historical fiction of a sort. I think it's historical fiction. I'm pretty sure it's historical fiction. I love those genres and I don't read enough of them, so I'm going to stop shaking the table. So that would be for number 6, and lastly for number 7 is read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. And for that one is A Desperate Fortune by Susanna Kearsley because I think it takes place in Paris. I've read the first chapter and it's in America, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of it takes place in Europe. So this is me doing a reading vlog. So I'm going to start reading The Queen's Poisoner out here because I need to read it outside of my house, and this is a very lovely porch area. I will check back in with you all later. 1 hour later. So I just finished reading. I need to not put my arms on that. I finished The Queen's Poisoner. I need to read 7 chapters a day in order to finish on time. So I'm gonna read probably A Desperate Fortune next and read another, 6 chapters because I'm on chapter 2, and then after that I'll read The Big Sleep, and then I will read Maze Runner. And if I have time, I'm gonna get back to The Queen's Poisoner because I was actually really enjoying that. Actually, I expected to enjoy it, but we'll have to see. It's really hot out here and I've been out here for an hour or more reading, but according to my Kindle, I only have 3.5 hours left of the book. So apparently it's a really short book, but I have to read it all outside. but maybe later it'll start to cool down. I think it's like 3:40 right now. So later I will come back out maybe and read more of that because I was really enjoying that. Also, book 2 is green. So book 2 could count for the first challenge if I get to it. We'll see. Good morning. I need to read some of Queen's Quasar before it gets too hot. I'm only going to read a little bit now, and then I will read more later outside, and then, yeah. Thoughts on whatever I've read. I'm really enjoying A Desperate Fortune. It's a lot of fun. Like, I don't know, it's not quite how I expected it to be. It's well written, which is good. A lot of times if I read a book on my Kindle, unless it's a book that I've like held physically, it's really hard for me to see it as a real book, and a lot of times I criticize too harshly. So I'm actually really enjoying it. So day 2. So a few hours later, I had to go in my room for a little bit because my family had things going on, and well, let me tell you, I really wanted to get back to The Queen's Poisoner, but since that's the book I'm supposed to read outside of my house, I couldn't. So while I was in my room, I picked up A Desperate Fortune because I was still a little bit behind. I have like 3 chapters left to stay like on target because if you know anything about me, you know I like to have goals and plan everything out, and especially for me, I read a lot of books all the time, all at once. So usually I'll be like, okay, read 50 pages of this book, read 5 chapters of this book, read, whatever. And I prefer to split them up by chapters. So for Desperate Fortune, I have to read 7 chapters a day in order to finish by the end of the week. And it's pretty much the same for all of the books. It's kind of weird. Like I need to finish 7 chapters a day in order to finish, except for The Big Sleep, which is 6 chapters, which I need to read 12 chapters because I didn't read 6 chapters yesterday. That's actually the biggest problem that I face when it comes to reading and having the chapter goals set up. If I don't hit the chapter goals, then I start not doing it day after day after day, and I put it off. Right now, I'm going to make myself some lunch because I need to eat, and I'm at a chapter break in A Desperate Fortune, so I'm going to eat, take a break, and then when I'm done eating, then I will get back to reading. I will check back in a little bit. So, a few hours later, I'm not going to be finishing The Big Sleep. Okay, so I started The Big Sleep, and I'm like, there were some things that were just really bothersome, and it's a product of its time, like, I get that, but I just couldn't stand it. I can't stand it. Just the way that some things were phrased, the main character, the way that he looked at women, and just, yeah. My new favorite my favorite thing to say about it is it's like reading Humphrey Bogart and Daffy Duck struggling over the main narrator voice in a film noir movie. That's that. For the rest of today, I'm just going to read the other books that I have to read, and then I will pick a new book for the movie challenge later. And I don't think I'll be getting to the Shattered Vigil this week. Hey guys, checking in again. I'm so tired right now. I think it's like 5-ish. I just finished The Maze Runner. Finally. It's taken me forever, but Emerald book is done. And I realized I don't need another book that's movie oriented because The Maze Runner inspired a movie. So there's that. I was gonna finish The Queen's Poisoner, but it was so hot outside earlier, it felt like I was in a sauna, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I think I'm like 54% through right now. My Kindle has a little percentage, and it says I have an hour and 40 minutes left. I'm like, I don't really want to sit for an hour and 40 minutes outside again still. So I might put that off till tomorrow. I also need some rest because yo folk. So I'm going to try to finish The Queen's Poisoner. I don't know if I'm going to do it today or if I'm going to do it tomorrow. The problem is it requires sitting outside because that's my reading a book completely outside book. Okay, so I did the Birthstone book that starts with the, which is an interesting challenge if you think about it, and a book that inspired a movie. So all I have left are The Queen's Poisoner and A Desperate Fortune, which I feel like I'm going to have no problem finishing. I really want to pick up another book, but I'm going to focus on the other 2 books that I have left. Check back in later. Hey guys, it is day 3 of the reading vlog. I just got back, well I didn't just get back, I got back recently from a walk. I go on a walk with my friend. I did a quick calculation this morning. So far this week I've read about 550 pages, including The Big Sleep, which I DNF'd. A little bit under half of The Maze Runner, and half of A Queen's Poisoner, and 30% of A Desperate Fortune. So today I'm going to try to finish The Queen's Poisoner, and then I'm also going to try to maybe get to like 50% of A Desperate Fortune. We'll see how that goes. I also have to record some YouTube videos today. So I'm going to be getting to that, getting some reading done. I might go try to sit outside and read The Queen's Poisoner, but the sun comes in on our porch in the mornings, so I'm like, I don't really want to sit in the sun. So I think I'll probably read A Desperate Fortune instead, at least for a few hours, see how far I can get in that. So I'm gonna get to that. Yay. So I started recording my video and I found out that I don't have space on my phone to record the video. So I got past the introduction, which I would have edited most of it out anyways, and I started talking about characters and I was like, maybe I should check and make sure it's recording. It wasn't. It wasn't recording. So now I have to go through my phone and delete photos, which I deleted. How many photos? I have 7,000 photos on my phone. It's because I never delete them. I take them and I forget about them forever. And I deleted over 1,400 photos on my computer and they didn't sync. I have a Mac. I have an iPhone. They should be syncing and I should not have the photos anymore. What do I have pictures of? I'm gonna be a lot more sparse with what I take videos of from here on out. I think I'm going to edit before I video the other ones that I need. So basically I'm gonna make myself lunch. I'm gonna be done filming and work on my storage issues and solving that problem because I don't know what's going on. Oh, I have a hard drive somewhere. Hey everyone, it is the next day. So pretty much yesterday I just sat on the couch and laid down and watched TV because I had a really bad headache, and I had a headache until like the end of the day, but my mom had me take some medicine when she got home, so that helped. So today I have a lot of catch-up reading to do because I didn't fulfill either quota from yesterday. So yeah, I'm about to eat breakfast and then I will get to reading. Okay, so I caught up on one of the books and now I just have to do my reading for that. So I read to chapter 21. I think it was like 4 chapters. I don't know. I lost count because I got engrossed in the story, which was nice. So I'm at chapter 23 now. I need to be at 28 by the end of the day. I'm really enjoying this book. It's set in 2 different time periods. You have one, it's in France. And I was wrong. It didn't start in America. It started in England. So our main character, Sarah, she's in France and she's decoding a journal for a historian who wants the journal as a source. That's my dog. Obi. I'm in a better spot now. Okay, so anyways, so Sarah is decoding a journal, and then our other point of view is Mary, who wrote the journal. So basically the book follows Sarah as she's decoding the journal and Mary as she's writing the journal. Mary is traveling with Englishman, and she's pretty much just part of his disguise to help him not be caught. I think he's part of the Jacobite. Pretty much he's a fugitive from England, and her family, which are Jacobites, they want him to be safe for some reason, which I may have missed. She's also traveling with a Scotsman, and she's part Scottish and she's part French. So the Scotsman that she's traveling with, I'm pretty sure, is her love interest. So this is like part historical, part romance, I guess. I don't know, it's a really sweet book. It's not like over the top or anything. I don't really usually read this sort of book because, I mean, it's very rare that I find a romance book that I like, just
just because it's not my style, and usually it gets too gushy and I'm just like, In all of the romance books that I've read and loved, is there's always this huge secret, and at the end the huge secret is revealed and everybody is like, there's this huge blow up, people are mad about it, people are upset about it, yada yada yada. So I'm kind of waiting for that ball to drop. I'm waiting for Sarah to tell Luke that this will never work. I'm waiting for, I don't know what with Mary. I'm just waiting, and it's making me nervous, folks. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read, I think I have 6 chapters left, so I'm gonna go back to reading that. I think I'm gonna make myself some tea. So me and my mom are going to Mariposa for the day. Well, not for the day, for a few hours. So I'm going to be reading The Queen's Poisoner there, and hopefully all of it. So you guys will never guess what happened. I didn't read at all. Pretty much me and my mom just went for like a 3-hour drive, and then we got home and then we had Chinese food, and yeah, and now I have somewhere to go tonight, so I'm gonna be leaving in about 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna try to get in as much reading as I can. I haven't finished today's quota of Desperate Fortune, so I'm gonna read that, and then I will probably, hopefully, read The Queen's Poisoner when I get home. I probably won't finish it though, because it'll be like 8 o'clock by the time I get home. How are your guys' this week going? Because I haven't read as much as I should have. One day later, it is Friday the 24th. There's a lot of new music to listen to today. I am now reading. I'm reading The Queen's Poisoner. I'm 77% through, and I have 55 minutes left in the book, and I'm about an hour away from home right now, and I'm not driving, so I'm going to be utilizing this time. Hopefully. Here's a mess. Utilizing this time to finish this book. I also have like 2 hours left in A Desperate Fortune, and I'm definitely gonna try to finish that today. Stuff's happening. It was like this really sweet scene happened. It's one of the main characters has Asperger's, and she like has a meltdown and freaks out. My dog is in the driver's seat. Come on. Oops. Come on. So anyways, so she like freaks out, and it was so cute because he was like, he just took care of her, and she was waiting for him to like freak out and stuff, but he didn't. And now I get to go back to, this is a hard thing, whenever a book switches perspectives over and over and over and over and over again, it's really hard for me because I want to know what happened in the last perspective. I want to know what happened in the last, etc, etc, etc. So now I'm reading The Queen's Poisoner because I can read A Desperate Fortune when I'm home and in air-conditioned house, and I'm out and about anyways right now, so I might as well finish A Queen's Poisoner while I'm still out and about. So that's what I'm doing. I'm planning on finishing this before I get home, and we'll just have to see how that goes. I have 51 minutes left in the book, so catch up with y'all later. So I ended up in a beach about 4 hours away. It's about 2:30 right now. This is my mother. We are exploring. Here. It's so pretty. It's lovely. And I did finish The Queen's Poisoner, and I will update you later. Kobe. Stop that. He's like, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up. So, it has been a crazy few days. So, yesterday on our trip to Monterey, which I showed you, I finished A Desperate Fortune and I finished The Queen's Poisoner finally. I loved them both so much. 5 stars for both. The only thing with A Desperate Fortune that I didn't really like so much is one of the plot lines didn't feel resolved, and I really wanted more from that plot line. So that was my only problem with it. And then The Queen's Poisoner, it was a fun read. It was really simple, but it was fun. I started The Thief's Daughter, which is the next one that I'm on. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for it, but I'm also I need to read Winter's Heart, Wheel of Time before the month's out. I'm thinking about either trying to blow through that or trying to blow through The Thief's Daughter. So one of those two things is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm already 25% through The Thief's Daughter, and I can read it inside, and it's great. So I might just try to read that today and Winter's Heart tomorrow. So yeah. Hey guys, so it's Sunday night because I've been the best about vlogging. I'm just gonna kind of go over what's the last bit of what I've read, just because usually after 8 I don't really read so much. I want to start doing so, but I don't know if I will. So I'm gonna go over what I've read this week, just a little weekly recap. I read ultimately about 1,150 pages. As a little disclaimer, I will be reading more of this tonight, and I'm I'm 60 pages in, but I was already 20 pages in when I started. So 40 of what I've read is from this, and I'm going to keep reading this tonight. So that'll maybe bump it up 20. This book is hefty. It's hard to get through. So first book that I finished this week was The Maze Runner by James Dashner. So I read about 170 pages of The Maze Runner by James Dashner in order to finish that. So that one I gave a 3 out of 5 stars, and that one fulfilled the movie challenge and the birthstone challenge and the V challenge. The next book that I finished was The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler, which completed the first book that I touched, and the 5th challenge of reading a book completely outside of your home, which is difficult in this time of quarantine. That book was upwards of 300 pages. I don't remember the exact number, but it was upwards of 300 pages. I started reading The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, and I read 20 pages of that and said heck no, and I didn't finish it. So 20 plus the 170 plus the 300, that puts us upwards of 500-ish. Who's doing perfect math? I added it all up on my calculator, and the exact number that I'm at right now is 1,146 pages, just for the record. So all of this adds up to 1,146 pages, but I don't have the exact numbers. The next book that I completed was A Desperate Fortune by Suzanne Kearsley, and that book was upwards of 500 pages. I gave both A Desperate Fortune and The Queen's Poisoner 5 out of 5 stars. They were amazing. I also started The Thief's Daughter, and I am on page 70 of that, and that's book 2 to the King Fountain series, which The Queen's Poisoner was book 1 of. And then I also started Queen's Play by Dorothy Dunnett, and I read 40 pages of that. A Desperate Fortune made me want to revisit the world of Crawford Lamond. So I was like, I'm hankering, I'll pick it up. So I picked it up this morning, and I was like, I have no regrets right now. So that was my reading for the week. I ended up not reading nearly as much as I wanted to. On Wednesday, I got a really bad headache in the latter half of the day, and I just clocked out and wasn't able to read very much at all. On Thursday, I took a 3-hour drive with my mom, and I had to go places, and I wasn't able to read very much either that day. Actually, I think I read very little that day. And then on Friday, my family was like, hey, let's go on a very long drive, and so we went on a very long drive. And then on Saturday, I had a brief work thing that I had to go to in the morning, and then I had another headache. Oh, I didn't read at all yesterday. I got home from my work thing at around noon, and I just got hit with this horrible headache and just passed out on the couch for a while. And then here's today, and I had church, and now I'm back, and now I'm able to read, and I'm going to read more. Total for the count is 1146. So I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna finish reading. I don't think I'll be able to get another clip in. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys at a later date.